Hi everybody, so this is an official yet unofficial video. Um, I just wanted to thank everybody who's taken the time to follow this YouTube channel, and also offer my sincere apologies that I've been away for some time. There's a myriad of reasons why that was the case, but I want you to know that I do care and I do appreciate all of the support for the system and I. This is Marielle, and I'm just making this video because I wanted to give some brief updates in this journey. One of them being that the HuffPost has taken our story about working together as a system to save my daughter's life as we escaped a dangerous abuser and subsequently went through the anguish of the family court, which that in and of itself is the next biggest scandal that's about to break. So, and DV experts and advocates are calling it the next big scandal, as big as the Catholic Church and the Me Too movement and whatnot. And so there's a lot of things that have been happening, in this journey. I can't promise that there won't be switches. In fact, I'm pretty certain that there will be, because I only have access to certain information right now, as that's the way that it's been set up in the system. So, hey, she was definitely right. A switch was going to happen, and I apologize for the moving the hair around and being distracting, but I think we were all trying to figure out exactly what we wanted to say in this video. My name, we'll just go by A right now. I know tons about the system, and so I wanted to share something important. Let's cut to this. Part of this journey that our system has been going through is the attempted treatment of the amnesia that Marielle was experiencing and various other things. This is really difficult. The system suffered greatly attempting to do things like integration. And for those of you who are wondering about integration, this video isn't going to be covering that in depth. In fact, I definitely would encourage you to Google it and find out more about what it means to those in the DID community and just the multiplicity community in general. But to get to the basic point of that, let's just say that it's the main accepted model of treatment for those who have been diagnosed with DID. And it is a very well sought after and defended model of recovery for systems for quite a few years, many years. I believe Dr. Colin Ross, and some of those other individuals like Richard, was it Cuft or Cruft? I forget how you say his last name, but it's been around for a while. Now, as far as firsthand experience of what this is like, what can I tell you? It was a harrowing, excruciating, shocking journey through discovering the hard way that integration is not at all what it's been made out to be. Integration is based off of the theory of structural dissociation, which basically posits the fact that there's a problem with the system and that the system itself needs to be resolved of its dilemma by simply ceasing to exist. And then once you make the system go away, then there shouldn't be any problems, right? However, what the medical community has failed to understand is that the chances for actual integration being possible are like 12.8%. And many of those integrations, or attempted integration, should I say, last mere years. There's not one system that I've ever heard of being able to reach what's considered final fusion, where basically everyone in a system comes together and coalesces as one total identity or person. I have not heard of it. And those who attempted it fell apart. Why? Well, I'd come to find this, and so would everybody else in the system, the whys. And it took 20 months of brutal treatment, attempting to make something possible that simply, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many DID specialists, is simply not possible. Because multiplicity is such a fascinating yet still very misunderstood way of life and way of being, a lot of pans and a lot of people have been involved with trying to deconstruct it and reconstruct it and try to make it fit into what society says people are supposed to be. And whether people want to accept it or not, that there is a certain sense, not just of the stigma of people that are multiple being seen as crazy and unstable and sociopathic, but simply being abnormal and needing to fit in with everybody else and become one person, right? Because if you're multiple, then according to all the people out there, like doctors and whatnot, that means you just need to be put back together like Humpty Dumpty, except what they fail to understand is that this isn't about Humpty Dumpty. You know, it's not a bunch of broken pieces that have been shifted around and that have hodgepodge themselves together to make some mess of a person or individuals. It's a highly sophisticated way of living and being and adapting. It's a real-time system, and the gravest error anyone could make in trying to help multiples heal is to dehumanize them and medicalize their identities, basically to the point where people are comfortable with saying, that's just a part, that's just an alter, that's not a real person. I'm telling you, that in and of itself is such a blow to people that are multiple, unless that person or persons in the system has specifically said, hey, I consider myself a fragment, I don't really consider myself my own individual, that's one thing. But if someone specifically said, hey, I have my own life history, I have my own interests, I have my own perceptions of things, I have my own likes and dislikes, I even have my own physiology. That in and of itself, having your own unique, separate sense of consciousness, to me and to many others that are really digging in deep into this whole personhood controversy, which, by the way, is already very controversial in our culture, right? Like, even the whole pro-life debate thing is all about, you know, man trying to determine about who's a person and who's not, right? And I find this theme very much still involved with our everyday life and even how we treat our fellow, African American fellow human beings. You know, everything's going on. I believe that all of these systems around us are these mirrors where we're going to have a chance to look at at all of the parallels in all of our existences and also the deficits, so we can do something about it. So I'm running on 8 minutes now. This is like the first part of it. There's a bunch of members in the Kindred system that are kind of jumping in here to share their take. This, again, is not a thought out video. I haven't planned anything. No one's planned anything. We're sharing what's on our heart. I wanted to put this out there and be expecting another video in a few minutes, probably the part 2 to this. But I didn't want to make this video run on for a million years because that's very hard, especially if you're just trying to click and get to the content. So I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, bye.